I'm Lise Leblanc, and today I'm talking about 7 reasons why individuals with borderline personality disorder are attracted to those with narcissistic personality disorder and vice versa. Soon I'll be posting a video on the relationship stages and the specific dynamics of these types of relationships between someone with NPD and someone with BPD, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss it. Okay, so let's jump right in. Reason number 1 is chaos and drama. Oftentimes, individuals with narcissistic and borderline personality disorder grew up in chaotic, abusive, and conflict-oriented homes. In response to their environment and upbringing, they may develop a certain comfort level or even an addiction to dramatic, chaotic relationships. This shared background of dysfunctional home environment and relationship dynamics might make them more likely to be attracted to partners who offer a similar turbulent roller coaster ride type of a relationship with emotional ups and downs and a lot of chaos, as it can be oddly comforting and familiar. So they may find that stable relationships are boring, unsatisfying, and they might find that healthy partners make them feel uneasy. Number 2 is shared wounds. Despite differences in symptoms, individuals with borderline and narcissistic personality disorder have some commonalities, and they both have major insecurities, fears, and emotional vulnerabilities. The sense of shared wounds and vulnerability can create a unique bond and a sense that this is the only person in the whole wide world who understands their deep-seated fears and insecurities. Number 3 is the need for emotional intensity. Those with NPD and BPD can be extremely emotionally intense and volatile, and this can be appealing for others with cluster B personality disorders, as they often need the thrill, the unpredictability, and the constant sources of stimulation. It makes them feel alive. So there's often a magnetic quality to these types of relationships, at least initially. It's like a moth drawn to a flame. Even when they see all of the signs of danger and red flags and they know it's going to be a painful journey, they're often unable to turn back because the allure of this emotional intensity is difficult to resist. For the narcissist, their attraction to highly emotional people also has to do with the fact that it's so much easier to manipulate them. For the person with BPD, it can make them feel more normal when someone matches their emotional intensity. Number 4 is the need for validation. Those with NPD and BPD crave validation, usually, at least in part, due to a serious lack of validation and emotional support during childhood, or in the case of the narcissist, maybe it's too much validation. But this can lead them to desperately seeking a partner who can fill the gaps in their emotional development and provide them with the emotional sustenance that they need. And during the initial idealization or love bombing phase, both partners come across as having this ability to fulfill each other's deepest needs and desires, as they both initially act like validation machines, feeding off each other's constant affirmation, affection, and validation, creating an addiction-like dynamic as they hijack each other's reward pathways. Number 5 is a disconnection from their authentic self. So both individuals with BPD and NPD commonly experience a sense of disconnection from their true self, and this is characterized by feelings of emptiness, inadequacy, and shame about their true identity. And both need assistance with regulating self-esteem and their sense of identity. The person with narcissism needs someone to uphold their grandiose false self, and the person with borderline personality disorder needs others to keep their self-worth and their sense of identity out of the dumpster. And so they're both seeking a partner who they believe can complete them, thinking that if they find the right person, their soulmate, they can be transported to this fairy tale fantasy land where they will forever feel happy and whole. When individuals with BPD and NPD meet, they tend to mirror each other, reflecting each other's dreams, desires, needs, emotions, and their best qualities. So this forges a false attraction and connection to the ideal image and projection of each other rather than to the actual person in front of them. And because of this, they form unrealistic expectations of each other and of the relationship. And as the relationship goes on, the illusion crumbles, leading to intense disappointment. Number 6, both are plagued with intense fears of rejection. For the person with borderline personality disorder, this presents as intense fear of abandonment. And for the person with narcissism, it manifests as an intense fear of inferiority, which of course they conceal behind their grandiose facade. The person with narcissism is attracted to the person with BPD because they ease these fears of inferiority by making them feel incredibly special and superior as they place them on a giant pedestal, idealizing the narcissist to extremes, reinforcing their grandiose, egoic facade. And in return, during the love bombing phase, the narcissistic partner eases the borderline fears of abandonment by making grand promises of a fairy tale future together where there will be unconditional love, support, reassurance, and emotional security. Although these promises are fake, they are incredibly attractive and alluring to the person with BPD. Number 7, not all individuals with borderline or narcissistic personality disorder are abusive, but without treatment, many are. So sometimes individuals with these disorders seek out partners that are also abusive because it makes them feel more comfortable to be with someone who engages in these abusive behaviors as well. Being in an abusive relationship that goes both ways is a lot easier to rationalize and justify. Both partners can then blame their own bad behavior on each other, never feeling the need to look in the mirror and take responsibility for the toxicity and abuse that they're bringing to the relationship. Along the same lines, those with past trauma, which is often the case with individuals with cluster B personality disorders, they may be attracted to partners who remind them of a significant figure from their past who displayed similar abusive behaviors. In this case, the attraction may be driven by unconscious patterns and unresolved trauma. Individuals with BPD and NPD often gravitate toward codependent relationships, which can sometimes take on a parent-child dynamic. These roles can be fluid and sometimes can reverse, but in such relationships, the partner with BPD often adopts a caretaker role, striving to please and appease the narcissistic partner, often downplaying their negative and abusive behavior and accepting their harsh punishments. On the other hand, the person with narcissistic personality disorder may assume a more dominant and controlling role, resembling a parental figure, manipulating their partner's emotions and behavior in order to meet their own selfish needs. For the partner with BPD who already feels inherently bad and broken, the narcissist's abusive behavior can reinforce their pre-existing core beliefs, leaving the partner with narcissism feeling justified or even like the victim, never recognizing that they are instigating and triggering their partner. As for the person with borderline personality disorder, the fact is they don't need a narcissistic partner in order to be triggered, and they sometimes subconsciously choose a toxic partner in order to have an explanation for being triggered and lashing out and treating their partner in abusive ways, which without treatment, they would probably do no matter how healthy their partner was. So being with a narcissistic partner allows them to not feel as guilty and shameful because at least the narcissistic partner is instigating it. As the relationship progresses, both partners get incredibly disappointed, resentful, often vengeful as the fighting gets more intense. The abuse is almost constant, typically leading to a huge and fast downward spiral into the worst versions of themselves where they're both abusive to each other. This often turns into a cyclical pattern of idealization, devaluation, and discard within the relationship, and this on again, off again pattern becomes more and more toxic and abusive with every cycle. That said, with treatment, some individuals can learn the difference between love and limerence. They can learn to manage their symptoms and adopt healthier coping strategies, and hopefully be able to experience healthier, more stable relationships. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And to learn more about the differences between narcissistic and borderline personality disorder, please click on the link above.